Kristina Zhuravlyova's social media was filled with vibrant photos that showcased a beautiful life. The 28-year-old lifestyle blogger from Yekaterinburg had over 60,000 followers, but the end of her story was far from as happy as it appeared in the pictures. The one and only Kristina Zhuravlyova was born on June 22, 1992, in the small village of Klyachevaya in the southwest of Sverdlovsk Oblast. As the only child in the family, she was surrounded by love and care from an early age. Kristina's parents were not wealthy, but they tried to give their daughter the best of everything. Her mother and father would tighten their belts to buy her whatever she asked for. Such upbringing inevitably influenced Kristina's character. In the sweet and smiling girl, arrogance and selfishness would sometimes emerge. Overall, she was a pleasant person, but there was always a certain disdain for others and a show-off attitude. As if to say, I deserve only the best. She was ashamed of her parents and their poverty. She had many acquaintances, but never any real friends. Shared one of Kristina's former classmates. Chasing a dream. For an ambitious girl like Kristina, the provincial village felt too small, so right after finishing school, she moved to the regional center Yekaterinburg. She got a job as a stylist consultant at a clothing store and simultaneously started her own blog. In short videos and posts, she shared tips on how to choose the right clothes, cosmetics, and accessories. Once her follower count exceeded 5,000, advertisers began reaching out to her. Seeing that her blog could generate a good income, Kristina quit her job and focused on growing her social media channels. The seller of happiness. It's worth noting that Kristina had taste, imagination, and a sense of style. All her photos were filled with warmth, light, and vibrant emotions. This, along with her ability to write engaging texts, helped her quickly gain popularity. At some point, Kristina not only began promoting various products and brands, but also started selling her personal courses on how to achieve a life as happy as hers. Leave behind sadness, suffering, and misery. Unlock the knowledge of joyful living with me. Until the end of the month, you can purchase my Happy Life course for just 9,900 rubles. One of Kristina's posts read, "The meeting. It was a muddy autumn day, and I was running late to the station. I had already bought a ticket to visit my mom. I asked a friend for a ride, but he didn't have time, so he asked his friend to drive me. A few minutes later, I was already standing on the platform, anticipating the reunion with my family and quietly recalling the features of the stranger who had driven me to the station. Serious, mature, with a touch of coldness. He seemed unattainable to me, and I liked that." Kristina later wrote about her first meeting with Dmitry. The tall, dark-haired man wouldn't leave the girl's mind. For several days, she waited for him to message her first, but it never happened. So Kristina asked their mutual friend for his number and messaged Dmitry first. "Hey, why haven't you written to me? I'm the one writing first." Unbelievable. The reply didn't take long. It turned out that Dmitry liked Kristina too, but his shyness kept him from writing first. Realizing what was going on, the girl continued to take the initiative and invited him on a date. Businessman. Little is known about Dmitry's life before meeting the blogger. He was born and raised in Yekaterinburg, then earned an engineering degree, but barely worked in his field. He was involved in business with a buy cheap, sell high approach. Sometimes it worked out for him, but more often he lost money because he invested without any planning. Just on a whim, Dmitry's friend explained. It seems Kristina fell head over heels for Dmitry, as the blogger wasn't deterred by his financial problems, his drifting from friend to friend's apartments, or his lack of strong feelings for her. The wedding. Things moved quickly. Kristina proposed to Dmitry just 2 months after they met. Moreover, she made sure that the groom asked his mother for permission to marry. Her own father had passed away by then. Dmitry is thoughtful, very calm, and patient, but he loves, and loves me again, and looks at me as if I were an angel. The smitten Kristina wrote. After the wedding, The couple started living together in Christina's apartment. She immersed herself in developing her blog, and Dmitry began helping her preparing props, taking photos, and of course, serving as a model. House. Christina's blog brought in a decent income, allowing the couple in 2016 to purchase a plot of land in the Pervomaysky Park residential community 30 kilometers from Yekaterinburg, and start building a house. They led a very private life, say acquaintances of the couple. Christina rarely talked about her husband, only mentioning that Dmitry helps and supports her. He often participated in photo sessions with her. Apparently, he enjoyed it. Once, Christina mentioned that he was working, but didn't say where. I always thought she was defending him, not wanting to speak ill of him, said a friend of Christina. Soon after, the couple got 2 dogs, but they decided not to rush into having children, thinking they wanted to live for themselves first. To confirm this, the couple spent a lot of time together. They traveled the world, went to the movies or cafes, but most often spent their time at home. Everyday life. Since the couple had no close friends, all their acquaintances believed they lived harmoniously. None of their neighbors or relatives had ever seen the Zhuravlyovs argue. In the joint photos on Christina's blog, they appeared to be the epitome of a happy family. The only person the couple visited was Christina's mother. The woman had a great relationship with her son-in-law. By the way, she also never noticed any conflicts between the couple. It's likely that for some time, Dmitry and Christina truly loved each other and had an ideal relationship. But as they say, nothing lasts forever. Problems. In 2018, Dmitry asked Christina for 1 million rubles for his brilliant business idea. Despite all his previous ventures failing spectacularly, she agreed. This time was no exception. Dmitry's company soon went bankrupt. Worse, he owed about 2 million rubles to partners and suppliers. Not knowing what to do, the struggling entrepreneur turned to his wife for help once again. When Christina learned about Dmitry's debts, she had a huge argument with her husband, but still agreed to help. To do so, she had to spend all her savings and take out a loan of 650,000 rubles. Unfortunately, Christina misjudged her financial capabilities due to missed payments and loans on top of loans. In 2019, Christina was forced to declare bankruptcy. The taxi driver, the debt hole that Christina's husband had dragged her into, noticeably affected her blog. Her husband almost stopped appearing in the photos, even though the couple still lived together, and Dmitry still didn't have a job. Christina clearly no longer had the same deep love for Dmitry, but for some reason, she continued to live with him. Neither their ongoing arguments, nor their financial problems, could persuade her to divorce. In response to another business plan, Dmitry presented to Christina in 2020. She told him to stop dreaming and get a job, even if it's just driving a taxi. This can't go on. On April 3, 2021, Christina traveled to Yekaterinburg, where she did a photo shoot for a trendy clothing brand. She approved the photos, posted them on her blog, and then went back home. Dmitry was on edge that day. The day before, he had proposed a promising idea related to cryptocurrency, but his wife dismissed him as naive and refused to give him any money. When Christina returned home, Dmitry brought up the business again, but this time, Christina's patience snapped. She expressed everything that had built up inside her over the years, including her desire for a divorce. This instantly set Dmitry off. On the side of the road, I suppose there's no need to describe what happened next. When Dmitry came to his senses and realized the gravity of his crime, he considered turning himself into the police, but changed his mind. Waiting until dark, he took a large black bag out of the house and left it in the shed. For almost a week, Dmitry was at a loss about what to do next, unable to come up with a better plan. On April 9, 2021, Dmitry rented a car and went to the Sisert district, leaving what was in the shed by the side of a forest road. For the next 3 weeks, Dmitry stayed at home, playing on the computer and drinking. She left. Didn't anyone look for Christina during all this time, you might ask? In fact, no. Christina had no close friends, and her acquaintances were satisfied with the explanation Dmitry had given. She left me, didn't say where she went, probably went abroad. The police had no missing persons report for Christina, so when, on April 16th, a young woman was found in the forest near Yekaterinburg, no one except Dmitry knew that she was a well-known blogger. Dmitry only went to the police to report his wife missing on April 30th. The authorities quickly realized that the unidentified woman found 2 weeks earlier was indeed Kristina Zhuravlyova. Dmitry was predictably the primary suspect. Experienced investigators took charge, managed to get him to talk, and within less than an hour, he confessed to everything.